meant to name the space Make-A-Wish. And in addition to that, we invited our board, your family, your friends, donors, former board members, to create a fund, the Frank and Laura Nilsson Wish Forever Fund, and invest that in an endowment that will grant a wish every year forever. We started by inviting our board and immediately raised about $60,000. And we reached out to staff. We invited staff, former board members, current donors, your friends. And we raised $185,000. So many of you in the room responded with an emphatic yes and followed it up with a check or a donation online. And we truly cannot thank you enough. And to embarrass one family here, the Bishop family, and David, who received a wish to meet Dave Matthews Band over 30 years ago. It was fun to hear your story and hear your sister Lindsay say, I remember as a child meeting Frank. Of course we'll support. Of course we'll support. So, Sarah, Zach, and Maddie, will you please join me and let's unveil the sign honoring Frank and Laura Nilsson. Frank's obsession with our star constellation. That obsession changes lives. That star constellation means a lot to many kids, their siblings, and their parents. When Wish Kids helped design this space, they designed a platform at the top of our stairs so that when families return, they can observe the stars. We are naming that space the Frank and Laura Nilsson Star Observation Station. Now, Frank, we'd love to hear from you.
Wow. I'm not dressed properly. I thought we were going to drag and dive. Most of what has been said here is true. Mike didn't quite get it right though on that bathroom story. The way he told it, that's what happened. But when I was standing in the urinal and Percy stepped up beside me, who I thought was Mike, I said, "Hey, get the little one." Yeah, that's a true story. And it is true that I also, he didn't respond when I said that, which I thought was strange. So when I turned to him and I saw that it wasn't mine, in my horror, I said, "Oh, I'm sorry, I thought you were my friend." To make me look even dumber. It's a true story. It has been so fun to work here.
And I want to leave only because I need to leave when I'm still really performing. I don't want to stay here so long that Hillary has to double check my work.
My horror is that I get a call from Orlando, from Give Kids, that says, your family's here, and they said, you were going to do blah, 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 and I didn't. So, I want to leave when I'm still fully functional, before I start making a bunch of mistakes. years ago, Hillary and I were talking on the phone, and at the end of our conversation, she said, "Love ya," and you know how you do with your family, and she just thought she was talking to her family, and I said, "Love you too." And yesterday when we had or Thursday when we had our farewell lunch, it was very sweet
And calm and small, and I really loved it. And I did not miss any fanfare at all. It was very sweet. And I told my coworkers that I love them, and I really do. So now when we're on the phone, I can end, because we're no longer coworkers.
Love ya. And I do know what it means to have a wish granted. It is true, for the first 10 years working here, I paused often and wondered,
What in the world could this be preparing me for? And we learned that when Laura was diagnosed. So you would think I would have been better prepared.
experiencing that journey with so many people. We were not prepared. So, but my coworkers and my staff, 100% supportive all the time, which we are still grateful for. It is also true that I came to Make-A-Wish thinking that I'd be here for a few years. I thought it would be fun to be involved with I think 16 children that were scheduled to come to Utah for their wish to experience the 2002 Winter Olympics. I wanted to do that, and I also thought it'd be fun to be involved in the campaign project to build this facility. I thought I'll do those two things and do something else.
But I fell in love. And could not leave.
I did not intend to make this place my career, but it has been a wonderful place to live for the past many years. And I told my coworkers that I have to stay at least to 2027, because that'll give me 30 years here at Make-A-Wish. And I said to Irene the other day, or to the staff, when we were all together with Irene, my grandmother taught me years ago, it's never okay to say someone is old, but it is okay to say they're older. So I believe that right now, Irene is our most older volunteer. And I want to beat her record, and I want to become the most older volunteer. So I have many years ahead of me. As we were kind of narrowing down, and I decided I really couldn't leave here. So I did try to carve out just a teeny little thing that I could do as an employee so that I could stay. So I'm going to stay and be the intake call specialist. So I'll be calling all the new wish families who have recently been found eligible to be wish kids. And I'm very excited to do that.
And I look at them, all these faces, and the support that all of these wonderful people have given to my family. It's just amazing to me. What I did at Make-A-Wish was very important to Laura.
However, when I became a volunteer, I came home and said, I went to Make-A-Wish today and I put in an application to be a volunteer. She said, what? I said, yeah, I put in an application to be a volunteer at Make-A-Wish. And she said, what are you thinking? We have 3 little children. How are you going to be a volunteer? And I said, this is going to be good. It's going to be a good gig. Just wait and see. And after I had granted my second wish, I did come into Ginny's office and I said, I want your job. And every time thereafter that I visited her office or Marilyn's office, I said, I want your job. and it was 3 years later that under some very strange circumstances, I got the job. And I accepted the job. Where's Chris? Sure. There. I accepted the job from Chris, having never discussed a salary. Never talked about it. I had worked at my desk for 2 weeks before she came in and handed me pay stub. And that's how I found out how much money I'm making. And it has been a wonderful, wonderful experience. And I do kind of know what it is to have a wish granted. After, not just because of the illness part of what our family did, but after Laura was done with her first treatment, her sister Christy said, we want to bring you to San Francisco, and we want to do a trip with you. We went to San Francisco, and then we rented cars, we drove down to Disneyland, and flew home from there. And as part of our San Francisco experience, we went to Alcatraz. And going to Alcatraz was something that has always been on my bucket list. It's something I've always wanted to do. And so Christy made my wish come true. And I want, Mike, where are you? I want to thank Mike for not telling all of the stories.
Come see me after.
And as far as the music goes, there are 17 volumes of Mattress Mix. And everyone that I know has those. And I actually started making those for Kay, my sister Kay. She had just started dating. So I made her what I thought was the best makeout CD I could. I made it and gave it to Kay, and then 16 volumes later, it came to a conclusion. So thank you, Mike, for not telling all funny stories. And one last thing. When I started to Make-A-Wish, I was trying to gather all of my friends to come to Make-A-Wish and volunteer. Because I wanted to be surrounded by my people. And I wanted to be surrounded by people who I know I could trust and would follow through. And so I did. I was really successful at getting my friends to come here and volunteer. And then one by one, my friends dropped off. And I was really scared. We had a horrible bathroom in our upper workplace before we came here. And I remember going to the bathrooms and looking in the mirror and thinking, I'm gonna fail. There's no way this is gonna work. And what I learned was that the people who came here and volunteered became my lifelong dear friends. And I see them here today. And they know who they are. And those are people I can count on for anything, to do anything for me. And thank you so much for supporting me, for loving me, and standing by me. This has been a great career, and thank you, staff, so much, and past staff. Wow. I can't imagine a greater reunion than this right here. So thank you very much.